Krystal Aegis Introduction. Dear Ascending Family, welcome to the Krystal Aegis pages. The Krystal Aegis was born out of the many requests for help received from people who are struggling to free themselves from looping negative thoughts, looping negative emotions, or looping impulses towards addictions and other destructive behaviors which are considered normal in the current worldscape. Many times, these destructive patterns are attachments, forms of possessions, which require our full attention and commitment to get free. The tools offered in the Krystal Aegis were originally created for the energetic synthesis online community and are now being offered to the public as an Crystal Star Guardian Spiritual Support System. If you are new to the works of energetic synthesis, this may provide a brief context for when these tools are most needed. As many of us wake up and begin to build our light bodies, we run into interference. Sometimes the interference is internal, stemming from undisciplined thoughts and emotions. Sometimes the interference is external, stemming from forces that do not want another starseed to fully embody. In either case, dark arts training has begun, and building one spiritual house and foundation becomes critical, a critical and crucial step in learning how to command one's space as a God, sovereign, and free being. If you are new to Ascension, you may want to review the Ascension glossary pages to familiarize yourself with Ascension terms and language. Now let's talk about a little bit about possession. Possession is common. Most people do not realize that we must take the steps to participate with our consciousness and energetic intelligence in order to experience the tangible support and presence of our guidance, mentors, and universal intelligence. Many people, from their veil of confusion, have forgotten who they are and how to communicate with their inner spirit. This disconnection itself, originating in the control mechanisms of stolen mind described above, has made many humans vulnerable to a host of manipulating entities that desire to create anxiety, pain, and fear in that individual in order to harvest those energies. When we are making decisions and guiding our life from the basis of fear, we become tormented and attract more of these dark forces. We may also be unaware of the lifeless or dead energy flow in our physical body and develop disease or chronic pain as a result of that blocked energy flow. From this perspective, I have personally viewed many unconscious human beings totally unaware they are carrying dead energy, displaced entities, negative alien implants, unaware that they are soul disconnected and mind controlled to limit further consciousness expansion. In other terms, this is enslavement of the person without their consent. If this persists, combined with continued destructive behavior to the self and others that are repeated as life patterns, the person becomes sucked into a density of painfully low self-esteem, phobias, fears, and addictions. Most of the time, that will include layers of astral debris, displaced entities, impersonal elemental forces, and sometimes it includes full demonic possession. Being possessed does not generally mean you are levitating off the bed or acting demonic. There is absolutely no shame or guilt applied to this state unless the suffering person applies it from their own state of fragmented confusion. It is through the possessions of one's body that the suffering and pain are greatly increased until the possession is removed and clear from your person. There are a million different variations of possession possible. However, the only possibility for evicting these possessions is to get clear within yourself and learn that you have the power to heal yourself and claim your energetic sovereignty and freedom. When you learn to create the space inside to communicate clearly and embody your spiritual source, you are putting yourself on the road to personal freedom and permanent release from suffering. There are recalibrations that are required as we are all undergoing changes in order for each of us to come into alignment with our true inner spiritual nature. As of January 2013, our planet has shifted not only in vibration but in the core energetic structure, which is also referred to as a shift in planetary hosting. The crystal host is now making changes within the core frequency structures, as well as the instruction set on our planet, which has great impacts upon our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. These core tones are Ka, Ra, Ya, Sa, Ta, A, La. These changes will continue to amplify polarities in the environment and create ascending and descending hubs on the planetary surface. This means that if a person has not broken through self-destructive behaviors such as mental and emotional addictions, obsessions, compulsions, and extremely negative belief systems, example, possession by thought forms or entities. All of these severe mental imbalances will be exacerbated, rooting more deeply like an invasive weed or parasite. At some point in our personal spiritual ascension journey, each of us will arrive at the crossroads where we will be responsible for a choice in our energetic direction. Only the individual will know when that choice becomes an imperative. That choice dictates our future timeline and the journey beyond this incarnation and physical body. That choice is a non-negotiable change where we choose our authority, and that authority will be chosen through our conscious participation with that personal choice, or it will go the path of least resistance as an unconscious choice. If we are unconscious and allow ourselves to be swept up in the world of forces from our own misaligned thinking, negative belief systems, or use of influential addictive substances, we will be swept into those lower matching vibrations, into a holding pattern. The key is that this choice is about the requirement of becoming responsible for ourselves in every way. It is to be 100% responsible for where we place our body, place our mind, attention, and focus, and what emotional states we allow to flow through us. If we do not learn how to be self-responsible, if we do not learn how to be in our body 100%, and if we continue to blame the outside of our lack of personal power, we will not be capable of self-sovereignty. If we do not claim our body parts or our minds, something else will come to claim them and use them. This will increase aggressively in the population now. Now, the Krystal Star is developing every method to be as available as possible to every human being within a vast complexity of changing energetic dynamics, strangling power, hungry entities, and the chaotic planetary terrain of spinning misinformation and dark confusion in order to shift from the confusion and gain clarity, mental reprogramming away from negative ego thoughts and behaviors is absolutely necessary. Soul sickness is created by mental body sickness. In order to break through these deeply destructive mental habits and patterns, the Krystal Star Guardians have supportively brought through 2 new areas in the community energetic template. This support is brought forth with a heartfelt desire to create sponsorship from the Krystal host to help each and every being in their spiritual ascension process to become God, sovereign, free. Build your Krystal Aegis diamond breastplate through the April 2013 meditation in our ES shop. Find more on Krystal Aegis meditations. The Krystal host is doing their part and saying, here it is, the Krystal Aegis that we offer to each of you. However, the emphasis is that you have to do your part. Each one of us as individuals has to be responsible for ourselves. If we are spinning and carrying out of control, this is the message to get to work on disciplining our mental body through devoted and daily spiritual practice. Now, the Krystal Aegis. These tools are to support self-intervention, to work hard, to discipline an addicted mind, destructive mind, or unhealthy lifestyle. If you are addicted, possessed, obsessed, and losing control of your life, this is the Heart Study Program. The imperative goal is to achieve 3 major improvements in applying the right effort to the discipline of your mind through spiritual practice. B. Applying the right thinking to discipline your mind through clearing negative ego. C. Applying the right meditation to develop skill in the focus and attention of your personal energies. This is the path of right effort to right thinking, to right meditation. Every person must learn to be responsible for their attitudes and thinking. In order to clear and shift mind control and negative thoughts from running one's life, one must identify them as the symptoms of the planetary circumstances, as a prison planet being liberated, and direct symptoms of personal consciousness evolution. This time on Earth, more than any other time in human history, is an incredible push towards consciousness participation for humanity to regain spiritual liberation through the freedom of mind control. Liberation is free from the effects of negative thoughts and free from emotional suffering. Each time you shift an emotional response from anger or judgment to love, joy, gratitude, and acceptance, you are doing global service, work at a personal level. This is our job on the planet right now. We must choose our real authority. Do we allow the negative ego to run our lives and make us miserable? Or do we learn to reprogram our ego and allow our true spiritual nature and higher spiritual bodies to govern our fleshly body? The choice, the choice is ours to make. There is an attitude of interpreting life that will bring you inner peace, calmness, joy, happiness, unconditional love, and equanimity regardless of what is going on in your life and the outside world. There is another attitude of interpreting life that will make you feel upset, angry, irritable, impatient, moody, emotional, unstable, and depressed. These are two examples of choice one can make at every moment. When interpreting our life experiences, neither of these emotional states have anything to do with what is actually going on in your life or in the environment. It has everything to do with how you are interpreting your life and what you are choosing as your ultimate authority. Every chronic state of mental pain that is generated through anger, fear, or worry is an opportunity for us to see the places where love, forgiveness, and self-acceptance is required to heal. This pain or fear shows us the areas that we need to transcend in order to evolve from beyond the ego's mental control over our lives and into being guided by the higher intelligence of our inner spirit. As long as we resist the inner work necessary to clear fear attitudes and their pain responses, we remain spiritually stagnant. When we hit cycles of spiritual stagnation, we will feel immense pain or discomfort that will force us to address that pain in order to be liberated from it. The more we avoid our inner spiritual work, the more pains this will become. Spiritual development is not always comfortable, and many of us are going beyond our comfort zone at this time in order to progress to the next level that our spiritual self is demanding from us. If there is spiritual stagnation present, one will be pushed hard to transform. This is a byproduct of spiritual ascension on our planet, and the discomfort shows the pathway to developing and refining the path of liberation, which is only found by following your inner spirit. The higher spiritual intelligence necessitates that we only have preferences by releasing control to the outcome of events in lives. This is a process of surrendering, represented in the phrase, "Let go and let God." If we become attached to a person, place, or thing, or the outcome, manipulation and interference will be a byproduct of that attachment. Attachment is an ego-controlled mechanism based in deep fear. We are attached to something, and it is creating spiritual stagnation. That object will be removed from our lives so we can refocus ourselves back on the inner spirit. This is also why practicing having references over ego attachment will be a much easier process with less emotional pain. We get the lesson the first time. The lesson does not have to be repeated. Inner peace is a state of mind that accepts the current state of circumstances as it is, without judgment. when faced with adversity, one looks for the opportunity to learn its lesson in order to move past old recurring patterns. This expands our consciousness as we transcend previous limitations. When we move through our fears and perceived limitations, we gain incredible amounts of personal power through enhanced self-esteem. When we know we have the power of our spirit within us, we know we are cared for and that things in our life will work out. We all have the power of our internal spirit, eternal spirit within us to guide us and keep us safe. The 12D shield process is the starting place, which allows us to begin a deeper communication link with this aspect of ourselves. However, we must learn to remove fear and mental bondage in order to be liberated from its control over the body. The body must be prepared to cellularly embody the spiritual light, and for that, fear programs and negative thoughts must be removed now. As one feels guided, if mental programs have been difficult to control, the Krystal Aegis is a 5-step program with guidelines to follow that will begin the path of gaining mental and spiritual and emotional freedom. These pages have all you require to gain personal, energetic self-responsibility and learn how to partner with a crystal host who will sponsor you in the Krystal Aegis, a shield of protection and support to guide you towards self-responsibility and self-sovereignty. As we acknowledge these thoughts as stemming from negative ego, similar to facing the ghosts that have been haunting the shadows of our mind, can see the ghost for what it is. When we face it clearly, revealing it from its hidden shadows, its power is diminished and it ceases to have the ability to terrorize us. Additionally, given all the various challenges we face today as a part of the human race, it is clear we have no real control over the external, the larger environment, or the outcome. This means we must change of our priorities to value the internal and intrinsic parts of ourselves as the most critical parts to preserve and feel happiness. This means a lot of what we can control is how we think and what we move towards. Most of our happiness relies on our personal attitudes. No matter who we are and what level of spiritual development we have, all humans can relate to these pillars in order to remember how we each can find happiness while seeing or experiencing personal or global turmoil. The four pillars for being happier. 1. Expansion. Personal growth towards spiritual authenticity and having a variation of life experiences to create that expansion. Second, connection. Having meaningful human relationships and cultivating deep connections in our life. Third, gratitude. Practicing appreciation and gratitude for what you have every day. Fourth, service. Being of service and making contributions to the larger whole, making a difference. Happiness and gratitude is an attitude that we all can create more of every day. There are many things that we are facing in the world today and in our own lives that are challenging and painful. This fact does not have to change one's ability to feel happy every day of your life, even while seeing the larger picture. As we become more expanded in our personal growth, we begin to experience the feelings of connection with all of life. And we then can choose to be grateful that we can make a difference through our intentional service to the world. Shadows are only powerful when they remain hidden and buried. As the shadow masquerades in falsity that uses fear to torment us with lies. Be brave to reveal them and place them to face your real spiritual self. The eternal self. As I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. Our personal sovereignty awaits us through the release of fears by applying personal responsibility to our thoughts and emotions. Choose your authority now, knowing that you are a God, sovereign, free being now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love, Lisa Renee, and the ES community. I am Ra, the Yellow Crystal Warrior Kid 116, the Pathfinder. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and so it is.